Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing details. Today, we are discussing a lovely early 2000s Blancpain Villeret Perpetual, a perpetual calendar in rose gold. This watch measures 38 millimeters in diameter, 10.6 millimeters thick, 43.1 millimeters from lug to lug with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and you can see it wears well. From a kinder, gentler era in Blancpain watch design, it's super narrow across the wrist, and as the strap softens up with use, it's going to wear really well on a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference, so ladies can definitely look into this one. It has a relatively thin profile and a double-stepped bezel, so a sleeve will slide right up and over this consummate dress watch. The strap is of high grade, large rectangular scale, symmetrical scale, medium brown alligator leather. You can see it has a sheer cut side, a monotone stitch. There's calfskin on the bottom, and it is a brand new Blancpain factory strap. Blancpain also includes a full deploying clasp here. You can see it's a polished rose gold clasp. The strap tucks in underneath. You size it down, and then once sized, it sits underneath the clasp body and the strap, so there's no need for minder loops to keep the strap nice and clean. As you can see, it is internally branded and quite attractive in its own right. It's a snapshot. The case, again, a kinder, gentler era back when Blancpain really thought high horology customers would be using strap tools to swap out straps on a regular basis. Hence, we have strap tool holes in the lugs. Everything's polished, everything's rounded. You can see that the lugs themselves break out from the case band rather dramatically. We have a knurled crown with a Blancpain logo, pusher adjusters on the flanks for adjusting the calendar indications, and a double gadroon, double-stepped bezel, giving way to a silver opaline or lightly silver-white frosted dial. We have rose gold hands, leaf style or feuille hands as they're called. We have radially arrayed Roman numerals, including a watchmaker's 4 with indices at 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock. We have a couple of different registers. We have a moon phase that has one adjustment every 122 years. We have a day, we have a radial date, we have the month, we have the leap year inside a window. And so this watch doesn't need to be corrected until the year 2100. That's the calendar, or 122 years from the last correction of the moon phase. The moon phase actually has a longer adjustment interval than the perpetual calendar. Now, you might be wondering what this phrase right here means. Pardon my Latin, I might be a little bit rusty, but dignus est intrare. Dignus est intrare is the phrase that is spoken at the time of initiation of a watchmaker into a professional watchmakers guild. So that would be spoken as he was officially inducted. And that means effectively he is worthy to enter or he may enter. That's what it translates to. So you have a little nod to the history of watchmaking, and then we flip it all over, and you can see that classical watchmaking is alive and well in Le Brassus. We have this gorgeous caliber 5653. It's based on a Frederic Piguet 1150, twin barrels, power reserve of 100 hours, 3 hertz or 6 beats per second, 28 pivot jewel chronometer style, 5-position adjustment. You could see it is artisanally finished and gorgeously so. It's a modular perpetual calendar, so the perpetual calendar system sits on the dial side, but they've got nothing to hide. All of the finish on this watch is world class. You can see the mirrored bevels lighting up on the edge of the bridges as well as on the edge of the rotor. We have linear Côte de Genève across the rotor as well as the bridges. All screw heads are black polished with chamfered slots in circumference. You could see that on the barrels themselves, we have a combination of satination and solarization, quite attractive. And then on the base plate, we have some engine turning with satination on the wheels. It's a beautifully rendered movement that has particularly impressive bevels. And again, very traditional watchmaking with 100 hours of power reserve. And via the 2 barrels, not just a long power reserve, but also a very even torque release so it doesn't lose a lot of amplitude after 18, 24, 36 hours, the way a conventional single barrel movement might. A perpetual calendar and a nod to watchmaking tradition, wearable on almost any wrist. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.